Today I'm thankful for eyes that have come to see that life will not always be easy, that roads will bend, that tides will rise, and that storms will come. I am thankful for those lights that took the form of human, who shone into me when I was at my lowest, who were not afraid of sadness or darkness or the many layers that wove themselves around the hard to understand or reach or even hard to love sometimes. I am thankful for skies that change color, for paths that change direction, and for the seasons that remind me that we are all just one breath away from a new beginning. I am thankful knowing that kindness still exists, that the truth is out there, that faith can move mountains, and that I was made for every last bit of it. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the chaos with me today. Okay, my friends, I figured it out. I know exactly why I couldn't recreate the technique in my last video, and you are not going to believe it. But before we get started, we also have Let's Resin's new Air Zero Pro Bubble Remover Machine to test. So we're going to put this thing to work while we're at it. Performance, they say performance has improved by 40%. So I'm curious to see what they've changed and how it performs. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box. There's the instruction book. And one of their little tutorial hub cards. Now let's see. There's our dome. And up here's got a little handle. And then here's the little silicone mat that goes in the bottom. Let's get it out. I love that color. Oh, it's so pretty. We got to talk about something in another video, but I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, let's get this silicone mat. It fits right there. See that little, fits right there nicely. I love these mats in the bottom of these machines. They are amazing. They catch that resin drip and it saves your machine. And there's our cord. They protected it in here so our machine wouldn't get scratched or damaged by the cord. That was pretty nice of them. Okay, I'm going to get her plugged up. And she fits nicely like that. I don't know how many cups we can get in here, but we're going to see. So for the big plastic cups, we could probably get 2 in there. Maybe not. Yes, we can. Yeah. And we could get another cup too. And another one. Okay, that might be pushing it a bit. So let's get one of them out. Perfect. So you could fit 2 big and 1 little. Or take those out and get 4 little ones in there. I thought I grabbed 4. Hang on. Can you get 5 cups in there? Surely not. Let me grab another one. The cups have static in them, so they keep moving on me. No, you can't do 5, but you can definitely do 4. they're sticking together because they have static in them. But you can do 4 cups in there. All right, and you can definitely do 3 comfortably if you don't want to push 4 cups in there. But I would definitely do 4 cups in there if I had to. But 3 will definitely fit comfortably. Okay, let's talk about it just real quick. This right here is your vacuum cover. This is your handle slot. This is your air extraction port. This is your motor base. And this is your digital control panel. Here is your power port that it's on. And it says here, well, I'm going to get the resin mixed up and then we'll go through those functions, but I'll read them to you. It says to rotate the knob to set the working time, then short press the knob to start the machine. The default time is set to 5 minutes and the max adjustable time is 15 minutes. You can increase or decrease the time at any time while the machine is running. Generally, 100 to 200 mils of thin resin requires approximately 5 to 10 minutes. I have my cup of epoxy resin right here. And generally, 100 to 200 mils of thin resin requires approximately 5 to 10 minutes in the machine. And we have 130 mils, so we're going to run it for 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and put our glass of epoxy resin in there. And I do want to mention that you can use other types of epoxy resin. You don't have to just use one kind. It's suitable for vacuum degassing of medium and low viscosity resins such as epoxy resin, deep casting resin, liquid silicone, and other thin resins. It is not suitable for thick resins such as quick drying resin, UV resin, and coating resins. If the resin becomes thick due to low temperature and cold weather, it needs to be heated before use. And you know, like a little hot water bath. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the machine and then we'll talk about some more things that I think you may need to know. Now we're just going to push that and our machine started. Remember, it's set to default for 5 minutes and that's all we need for 100 to 200 mils of resin. Now let's go over a few more things. How to better set perimeters for different types of resin. The higher the viscosity of the resin, the longer the vacuum degassing time is required. Can you add pigments and mica powder or glitter to the resin and then put it into the machine? You can add other mixtures to the resin such as mica powder, glitter, and inlays. However, the resin volume should not exceed half of the cup, as they will undergo a chemical reaction with the resin and continuously produce a large number of bubbles, making the resin easy to overflow. Can you put the mold with casting resin directly into the resin bubble remover machine? Silicone molds with resin are not suitable for vacuum degassing, because the complex shape of the mold and the silicone surface material will prevent the bubbles from escaping from the resin. If there are dried flowers in the mold, it will continuously produce a large number of bubbles. We do not recommend putting the mold into the machine to remove bubbles. Why does a plastic cup work better than a silicone cup? This is because the internal friction of the silicone cup is much greater than that of a plastic cup, and it takes a longer time to remove the bubbles. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and wait on this. We have 3 minutes and 32 seconds. I'm going to zoom you in and let you watch it. Okay, it's releasing. Can you hear it? It's really quiet. And you can't lift your top up until it's done releasing the air. And if you see any bubbles on top of the cup, that is normal to see those. They'll disappear automatically after a while. If there are any bubbles on the surface, you can remove them with a heat gun. And there is our resin. I only see one bubble right there on the top. That's pretty amazing. Okay, and if there's anything that I may have missed, you will get a pamphlet with your bubble remover machine, but I think I covered a lot of ground with some questions that you may have with this machine. And I did want to mention that if your cup is overflowing with resin while it's in the machine and you need to get in there real quick, it does have an instruction for you to do that. It says emergency vent. If bubbles rise too fast and may overflow, you short press the knob to release the air or long press to stop and restart it after the bubbles subside. Okay, now we're going to get started on our alcohol ink technique. And let's see if I can recreate this for you. All right, I already have my little pots right here that I'm going to reuse them because I've went through so many and that's just unnecessary. I'm going to put the same inks in the cups, so I'm just not going to grab any more. And we're going to be using these coasters right here. I did order me some more experimental coasters because mine is just getting real dull. And I'm going to use one of my new Texas coasters. Loretta from Awesome Incidentals, she sent me some Texas style coasters too. I'd made some traveling coasters with those coasters a while back. This is a different one though. This is another one that I made. But if you haven't checked Loretta's channel out, you can run over there and check her out. Explains everything so well, and she does some awesome projects over there. I'll throw her channel up here, and you can go check her out. She's super sweet. All right. I want to try and get this one as a traveling coaster, but it depends on if I make it in time on the back with my inserts. So we'll see. If not, no big deal. But I'd love to get this technique in one of those traveling coasters. So we're going to start with our inks, just like we did before. Well, no, we're not. So how we're going to start is spritzing alcohol into each of our coasters so we don't get any bubbles around the edges or in the bottom of the coaster. I'm using 99% isopropyl alcohol. I keep 91% and then the regular alcohol in my craft room to clean with, though. I don't use my 91% for this. I use my 91% only for my projects. And there's about 30 mils of resin in each of these coasters. I'm not filling them to the top. I might have to go grab another one. This one is sitting up a little bit on the sides. I'm going to go ahead and use it, but I don't know. Hopefully it'll work. Oh, goodness. My coasters, my new ones can't get here fast enough, can they? Okay, now we're going to set a timer for 45 minutes. And we'll be back to make the magic happen. So I'll see you in 45 minutes, my friends. And here we go. We're about to start. I'm going to be using the Arctic Octopus Fluid ink, the Eggnog Octopus ink, and the Flamingo Octopus ink. These are all opaque inks. And if you missed my last video, I'm trying to recreate these two techniques here. And I want to name them. I think they deserve a name, especially this one. And it's not because I care about being the first one to discover a technique. I just think it deserves a name. It's very beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and start. These pots right here have a little bit of ink in them, but I'm going to keep using them so I don't keep wasting my little pots. And we're going to start off the same way we did before. I'm going to put about 7 to 8 drops of ink in there. And then I'm going to make it down so you can see. I'm just going to dip in here and drop the ink. And I'm not going down into the resin. I'm just going right on the top of the resin. And I'm leaving room for the other colors that I have. So that's why you see me spacing my dots out. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my Arctic. And now I'm just going to dip in there and drop the ink. And I'm just dropping it where I want, but keeping in mind that I want to add another color in here too. So I need to save, you know, enough room for that. But I want the colors to be really close together. So I'm really just filling it up with these dots. The one thing that I was getting wrong when I recreated the technique last time, you're not going to believe it. The whole time I was thinking it was one of the octopus white inks. It was not Enoki. It was not Snowflake. It was not Pom Pom. And it was not Milk. Guess what it was? It was my T-Rex Pure White Sinker alcohol ink. And it has to be this alcohol ink, white, because of the way that it spreads to make the technique. I will drop this in my description box in case anyone would like to make some coasters or trays or whatever using this technique. It's really beautiful. So I've put some of that in this little container here because this drops out really fast and I don't like it. I like to control it. So I bought this container here and I added some little beads to it. These right here, you can get these off of Amazon. I dropped 2 of them down in there. And now it shakes to get everything off the bottom. You can't just put your Sinker white in there without any of the little beads because it won't, they go down there and get everything off the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put some of the T-Rex ink in here. And now we're going to drop it on top of each of our drops. We're going to scoot that one to the side and we're going to do the second one a different way. Now we're going to use a Blue Moon. Now we're going to switch to peppermint. Now we're going to get the T-Rex Sinker White. And we're going to drop it right over each of our ink drops. I want to see if it's going to be a difference in all of the 3 different inks dropped on the same pile in the same spot versus the inks spread out. You know, 1 dot on each with the alcohol ink on top of it. I want to see if there's going to be a difference in those. It looks like it is. All right, we're going to get our other one out here. For this one, we're going to use Carabic, Flamingo, and Lavender. And we're going to start with Flamingo. Okay, now I'm going to get the Lavender. And we're just going to find a spot to put the Lavender. Now I'm going to switch to Carabic. Now we're going to get the T-Rex Sinker White. And go over it with each of our drops. Now we're going to get our last one here. And we're going to do something different with this one too, to see if it makes a difference. Since it seems like the inks are drying out before I make it to the Sinker White, let's try this. We're going to use the peppermint first. And let's try to put our peppermint down. And then go over it with the white before dropping our next color. Let's see if that makes a difference. I'm going to switch to the next color, and that's going to be Eggnog. Now let's get the Sinker White. And now we're going to switch to Blue Moon. We're going to switch to Sinker White. Okay. I'm going to go grab the other coaster and I'll be right back. Now we're going to grab the first or second one that we done. And I'm just going to take this right here, little wooden stick, and then I'm just going to move through, dragging it wherever I want it. I'm going to leave it alone and let it cure up. Now I'm going to grab this one. And on this one, I'm going to just go through the resin, but I'm going around each one of them. I'm not going through them. I'm going around them. Just making my way through. And it kind of just drags them just a little bit and makes them a little bit wispy looking. I don't know, it's really cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave that one like that. And on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go around in the resin, just around the inks, not through them. I'm not splitting the ink blobs up. I think I'm happy with that one. And now on this one, I'm just going to move just a little bit through it, not much at all. I mean, just a tiny, tiny bit. I'm only going around the areas where I think I can make it with my stick without splitting them up. I just gave it a little bit of movement. Okay, that looks good. I'm not gonna do a whole lot more through here. Okay, we're gonna put this one up and let them cure up. See what we got. See you later. I have some Bond Crafter epoxy resin right here, and we're going to take this Bond Crafter pigment paste in black and put it in the cup here and mix it up, and then we're going to back it on all of our pieces here. Now I'm going to take some alcohol and I'm going to spritz it on each of my coasters here. And this one, it was just one I was practicing with. So we're going to see how it turns out too. Now we're just going to pour some of this on the back. I'm just going to switch to a little stick and drop some on the back there. And just basically dome the back. So we can see how these turned out too. Okay, I'm going to spritz some alcohol on these to pop the surface bubbles. And then I'm going to pop them in my Resiner's curing machine. And I'll meet you back and we will demold them and hope for the best. See you later. Are you ready to see if I recreated the technique? All right, let's see. We're going to start with this one right here. And I did want to mention right quick, if you'd like to try these octopus inks or any of the octopus alcohol inks, it doesn't have to be these ones right here. Laura over at Laura's Art Corner has a lot of different octopus alcohol inks. So if you'd like to give these inks a go, she is the US seller for octopus inks, because octopus inks are not in the United States. So it would cost you a lot of money to order these inks from Octopus. So you can get a better deal if you order them from Laura's Art Corner because she is a US supplier. I will throw her link down below, and I have a discount code you can use to save you some money while you're there. I'll bop it up here in the corner. I do get a little kickback from that, and I like to save it and then go pick out some supplies for us to review on the channel. All right, let's go ahead and demold this and see what we got. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Look at that. That's better than the first one I done. Let me grab it. Here it is. This is the first one. So I like my recreation a lot better. What do you think? Which one do you like better? Or are they both pretty? Okay, so that's one of them. Now let's demold this one. I don't know which ones they are. I'm not turning them over and looking. Oh, wow. That's pretty. Now that seems to be more along the lines of this one. This is the first one I created. And that looks a lot like it, doesn't it? That's definitely it. I think I used a little bit too much of the alcohol ink though. The Sinker White. Yeah, I think I used too much of it. So that turned out really pretty. And now let's get this one out. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. It looks a little bit like this one. But we got bigger cells here, which I did get some. See them? So maybe it's just going to be one of those techniques that all of them come out different, you know? I don't know. But I'm going to keep playing around with this because I absolutely love this technique. And now we have this one. And I'm hoping this one looks a little bit more like this one. So let's see. Cross your fingers and your toes. You ready? Oh, I didn't quite get it. No, but it still looks cool. Yep. I think I used too much alcohol ink, the white, the T-Rex. Yep. I think I got too excited that I figured out what I'd done wrong, that I just used way too much. So there's our 4. I think those turned out a lot better than the first time. Oh, and I have this one. That looks a little bit like it, but not much. And this one right here was from my last video, and this one was too. I think those turned out really pretty, but it's, you know, along the same lines as that technique. So that's beautiful. I love it. That's where we took the little stick and we cut through all of them and just drug them all around until we liked the look. It's really pretty. I love it. And I love these two. They're so pretty. But this one kind of is a little bit of a disappointment to me. It was trying to do it, but I just didn't get it. And I don't know why. But it looks a lot like it. So maybe it's just one of those techniques that it's just going to do what it's going to do. And you'll get a cool outcome every time. That's the coolest part about it all. And here are our 3 smaller ones that we put a little dome on the back with black. So let's flip them over and see how they turned out. Oh, wow. Very interesting. Now this one has a secret ingredient in it, which I'm not going to spill the beans on yet because I don't know if it's the culprit or not. So I'll be playing around with that a little bit more before I share it. Wow, that one's very interesting. Very beautiful. Oh, wow. Beautiful. These were done the same exact way these were done. Only difference is these are smaller. And there's a secret ingredient in this one. The individual cells are more crowded, more compressed, and running into one another. The longer pieces had enough open surface for some of those cells to stretch into long, wispy swirls as we moved through the inks. But I don't think diameter alone is the main culprit. 3 things are happening. Resin depth may be the biggest one. Surface area versus the number of drops, and the boundaries could matter too. So we're potentially learning that we can manipulate the style. More crowded equals smaller area equals stained glass cells versus more room, fewer drops equals isolated agate-like cells versus more movement and space equals elongated wispy cells. The goal isn't merely to reproduce our first accident piece anymore. If we can learn which variables change the cell shape, I can deliberately choose what kind of pattern I want before I pour. I'm going to put the mad scientist back in her cage so we can move through some more projects, but I will be working on this behind the scenes. I'm excited to discover new ways to create. I purchased these off of Amazon, and let's take a look at them. I thought they were very interesting and wondered if you've seen them too. Okay, we're going to look at this one first. I have to be careful with them because they will mess up. Have you seen these? And if you have you worked with them any? I'd love to hear it in the comment section below. And if you have worked with them, how did you use it to keep this beautiful pattern? Because this is gold foil leafing. And it's very, very thin, and it tears very easily. I think there's 25 or 50 sheets here. But I love that pattern. And then I got this one right here. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So let me know if you've used these and how did you keep the foil intact without tearing it up while you used it. I'd love to hear it in the comment section below if you've tried these out. And then we have two things to demold. I've been making these right here, and I put a magnet on the back of them. I don't fill the mold up because I'm using them as refrigerator magnets. So let's pop this one out and see how it turned out. Oh, that is beautiful. Isn't that pretty? I love those colors. Now this orange is one of the new colors that I just got from Laura's Art Corner. The fluorescent deep orange. It's one of Laura's pigments. So that is beautiful, very beautiful. This is a matte mold, so it's making the orange a little more subtle than it would if it had been on a glossy piece. So keep that in mind too. Very cute. And then I made another cross. So let's demold it and see how it turned out. Now this one isn't going to, you can't turn this one this way and then have another look on the other side like I made the other ones. See, I made this one and then you flip it over and you get a different look on the other side. This one's not like that. I'm just making them all in different ways. And I put real dried flowers in this one. And I hope it turned out really pretty. I want to get the other crosses in these. They have some that say different things. Like this one says blessed. And they have some that says faith and all kinds of other things. And I could be wrong. Maybe there's just two. I don't know. But I'd like to get the other ones. Oh, that turned out so pretty. I need to dome the top so I can get those flowers in the background to really pop. And you can see the glitter. The glitter made it look real cloudy from the side. But I could add I could add some of this to the side. Like that. I think that would be really pretty. And then I have this blue one here. I also have a pink one. But I like that green because it has green in the piece. So yeah, that's really beautiful. So I think that might be how I finish this one off. Give the top a dome. And I love how I ombrade the blessed, starting with the pink and then flowing into the blue and then flowing into the silver. That turned out really pretty. And the glitter that I used is from Laura's Art Corner. I used the Opulence Pink, Silver, and Blue from Laura's Art Corner. These are the Opulence glitters. They are beautiful. Also, if you want to go grab the Air Zero Pro Resin Bubble Remover Machine by Let's Resin and try it out, you can use my discount code on Amazon now if you would like to shop Amazon. But it will be a different discount code, and you'll find it listed in my description box. I think that's amazing that Let's Resin is implementing that now with their discount codes. I do get a little kickback from that if you use my discount code, and it helps the channel out tremendously. So I really appreciate it if you use my discount code. Let me know what you think about this technique. I'm inching closer and closer to something amazing here, which I really think I definitely recreated the look. But is it exact? No. I don't really think that it has to be exact, to be honest, because we did hit the mark on it. The missing link was the T-Rex Sinker White ink. But like I said, I'm going to be playing with this a little bit more behind the scenes. I have a lot that I want to try and discover using this and see what we come up with and try to find a different way to create with these inks. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.